Welcome back to CBS News. It is Thursday, February 24th, 2022. We are following the latest on Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Vladimir Putin claims his goal is to demilitarize the country. Explosions have been heard in several places, including the capital, Kyiv. Ukrainian troops have been engaged in combat on the outskirts of the city, claiming that forces shot down 3 Russian helicopters trying to attack a military airport.
President Biden is describing the attack as a, quote, needless act of aggression. He's expected to announce further sanctions on Moscow. The president will address the American people later today.
And leaders around the world are condemning Russia's actions. The head of the European Union has described the move as barbaric. However, a Chinese foreign ministry spokeswoman refused to describe Russia's military assault as an invasion. And for more on the U.S. response to this invasion, we want to bring in David Martin. David, you are at the Pentagon. So what are we hearing right now from the Pentagon reaction to the invasion overnight of Ukraine?
Well, there are 2 things going on. One, there are already 5,000 paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne who were sent to Poland earlier in this crisis. They are already standing by to help with the flow of refugees that come across the border from Ukraine into Poland. In the last 24 to 48 hours, the flow has increased 5-fold, and these are people who may not necessarily have a place to go once they enter Poland, and so these reception centers are being set up where they can be fed and housed, at least temporarily. There are also 1,000 U.S. troops in Romania who could do the similar function for refugees coming across Ukraine's southern border. Beyond that, the NATO Secretary General said this morning that they have activated their defense plan, and that involves reinforcing the eastern flank of NATO. And there have been, for some time now, 8,500 troops here in the U.S. who have been on alert, waiting for NATO to call them forward to reinforce these countries, which now find themselves on the front lines with Russian troops just across the border, and of course Russian troops acting in a very aggressive manner. None of these troops, neither the paratroopers that are already there or the 8,500 who could be sent there, are being sent to intervene in the fighting. President Biden has ruled that out, and one of the things that Putin said in his speech last night was quite striking. He said that if anybody tries to intervene, Russia will respond immediately, and you will have consequences that you never had before in your history. Now, he doesn't use the word nuclear, but that is clearly a threat to use nuclear weapons. So this crisis is in its early hours. It is redrawing the military map of Europe, and we don't yet understand the consequences of what this new Europe is going to be like. The U.S., for instance, has said it is committed to supporting Ukraine. Does that mean it is going to continue to ship weapons to whatever parts of the Ukraine military survive this Russian onslaught? Will the Russians regard that as intervention? And what will they try to do about it? This game is just beginning.
All right, David Martin for us at the Pentagon. As always, David, we thank you.
Sure thing.